trying to work together. That radical idea of trying to do the right thing, reach across the aisle, define the common ground, and then build on it to solve problems, as opposed to this sort of hyper-partisanship that's been hijacking our debates and kind of, I think, making folks feel that our country's probably more divided than it really is.
Right.
So thank you for sitting down with us across the aisle, and just tell us a little bit about what it's like to work across the aisle in Iowa. I mean, how it works. The legislature was divided 25-25 when you got in, and
We served together.
magically worked. Tell us how it happened.
The first 2 years I was here, we were tied 25-25, and under Iowa rules, you have to have 26 votes to get the bill out of the Senate floor, constitutional majority. Well, when you have that dynamic, you realize it's not just majority rules. You can't just throw it up and your party gets to run the bill, and so that creates an opportunity to actually sit down and work together. And I think it was wonderful in the first 2 years, 25-25. There was a kind of a running joke among the senators that we should just pass a law and make sure that it's 25-25 every year.
That's right.
It lowers the drama.
And I think that people, both in this state and nationally, expect us when we're elected to represent the good of the whole. They don't expect us just to be Republicans or Democrats. They expect us to do what's right for either the people in our state or the people in our nation. And here under this dome, sometimes it becomes partisan because the constituencies that we represent here have to be partisan to get bills moved through the system. But I think when you separate yourself and get out from this Capitol, people I know say, just work it out, work together, figure out what's good for the state, and come together and do what's right. Don't just do what's partisan. And I think that's a frustration that real people have. They don't understand it. Yet when we're here, we understand it because it's our life. And there are some things that are divisive that we just philosophically disagree on, but there are more things that we agree on than there are the decisive.
And we don't have to be disagreeable along the way. At the end of the day, this is something that I try to remind people of. That we deal with numbers and budgets and agencies and all the sort of abstract concepts, but we're in the people business. And it amazes me in politics how many people forget that. And so you gotta treat people decent. How you make the decisions and how you treat people along the way is as important as the decision itself. And so I think we have an ethic here in Iowa of coming together and making sure that people learn from our conversations. It's easy to know who doesn't like who. That's an easy story, right? Parties and all the other
constituencies.
But people need to know that we are genuinely concerned about solving problems and putting aside our partisan differences, and that happens more often than not.
I mean, it really sounds like it's just the golden rule, right? I mean, it doesn't seem it's like a whole heck of a lot more complicated than that at the end of the day.
Right. Treat others
absolutely, it's a golden rule. But I think again, there are a few issues where we just philosophically are not going to be together, and those issues we have to just agree to disagree.